What up, YouTube? Agent Persuasion here with my boy Slim.
You already know.
Your YCS Memphis deck profiles. We're here with my boy Max. What did you do this weekend, my friend?
I got top 32 at YCS Memphis, which for all intents and purposes is a win-a-mat. So here we are. Yes, this is all I was given for my efforts. So great game.
Yeah.
I played the Pendulum FTK, very interactive Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I came up with it all on my own. So
oh man,
yeah,
innovation.
Very innovative. 3 Black Fang Magician, 3 Harmonizing, 2 Purple Poison, 1 Janky, and 1 Oath for like the actual magicians. I don't count these. So like, this is pretty standard, I guess. Maybe not this. People don't play this, which I don't understand. It's very good. It's really good against Trickstar. It's good against the Lightsworn deck because, or I guess the 60 card deck. It's no longer a Lightsworn deck, unfortunately. It can negate the big dinosaur if they start with it, and it can beat Snow if they don't have the dinosaur. If they have both, it's kind of hard, but you can still play through it. So I really like those. Jesse got top 16 at Utah with 2 of this, and I was like, that's kind of weird, so I wanted a 3rd one. Fang's just like really good for grinding stuff like that, and then you kind of have to play Oath even though he's not a dark monster for your FTK.
Yeah. They're dead?
Oh, yeah. 2 Garnets for Astro and Chrono, which leads me into Astrograph and Chronograph. You just want to see a starter, I guess, in the form of these. These could be extenders too, like classification, but they're both very important because if you can make Electromite prior to Pendulum summoning and you have access to Darkworm, you just FTK your opponent. It's just like ridiculous. I don't know why it is allowed.
8500? Oh,
yeah, so for that reason I played this card too. I wouldn't actually play this in any other variant of Magician. I don't think it's very good. It's very susceptible to Ash, and if it does get Ash, if you don't have Ash or Chrono, you like can't really do anything. It's just stuck in your scale, so without a way to make Electromine, there's no way to clear it. So I don't like them for that aspect. Oh, this is part of that too. But going second, these cards are like phenomenal. You really like always want a way to push through negates because apparently every deck just is the same deck, but just like has a different name and negates. So here we are. So those are the interactive engine of Darkworm and 2 donuts, and I don't really know what that is.
That's a pretzel.
Yeah, pretzel. There you go.
Yeah, donut and pretzels.
Maybe this is the cheese.
Yeah, it's kind of like a churro.
Yeah. So basically, you just want to like see this card, and the game ends. It's just stupid. I don't really have much else to say other than it should not be allowed. The ban list should definitely address this. Yeah. Thought we would get it sooner, but here we are. So.
Konami, let us use it.
Alright. The spells I played, Foolish and 2 Shrine. Normally you just play like 1 and 1 because drawing multiple of this really sucks, but you just really want to see Darkworm, so you want to like maximize that opportunity. So those are fine. 3 Allure. I really like this card in Pendulum. I obviously can't really play it in the other deck because there's not as many darks. Like there's a good amount, but not a ton. Here you just have like all dark monsters. And not only does the card like fix your hands, it's really good bait for negates because people don't want you to have more options when you're playing into a board. That's how they should approach negating cards. Obviously, like you could like debate it another way, but this was like great this weekend specifically for breaking boards. I like play this, they'd like Harbinger it or something, and then like the rest of my hand was just like fine enough to play through the Vortex, so it's pretty good. 2 Pendulum Call. I think this is like the best card in the deck. This is like very good. You have a lot of like 3-ofs, or I guess 2-ofs with the extra Shrine that like stick in your hand, and even the extra Desires you don't really ever want to resolve. So being able to turn dead cards into functional cards is like very powerful. So I really like Pendulum Call. 2 Pot of Desires. Not gonna explain that. Just draw us 2, and Instant Fusion because you know, here we are.
Here we are.
So stupid. Yeah, I was actually not really sure what to play for this tournament. I was going to play like a regular Pendulum deck. And during the week, my friend Jordan, who also ended up topping, who played his regular deck, was like, how do we beat the FTK? And I was like, I don't know, we can test against it. So I built the FTK for testing purposes, and I just didn't lose. And I'm like, all right, here we are.
And it worked. For the win event.
Extra deck. Dead center. Bowden's fat. 2 Electromite. I don't think you need 3. It's like very accessible. And then I actually play 3 of the Starving Venom card. So if I really wanted more, I could just like get it. Obviously, most people like use 2 to make hope if they don't FTK. So having the 3rd is like almost like a 3rd one of these, but also just like gives you anything else you want. So I like that. 1 Underclock because if you get Reapered, you like can't do anything, so you need some help. Metatron's pretty standard, and Warlord, because I refuse to enter a tournament without this card. Just amazing. Like every time I read it, it just gets better. It just, like, has another effect for some reason. Yeah. One Dweller is actually my only rank 4. I found myself, since I was playing the FTK, I was like, well, I'm not really making a board. I'm just like winning. So why am I playing like Tornado Dragon? Why am I playing, I don't know, like Time Stars or anything like that? So I just wanted a rank 4 that if it did come up would just be a complete blowout and like a floodgate, quote unquote, against like all the decks. Except Trickstar, but it actually works against like everything. Against Pendulum, they cannot resolve this card under it, so they can't make their own Vortex. They can't Dark Worm, which is also really big. 60 is pretty obvious, and then Draco, they can't really do much either. So Dweller was pretty good. I actually played a mirror and a guy linked this off under this and did not get his Vortex, so it was pretty good.
Mistakes
One Absolute, and then Harbinger on the other XYZs. Synchros, I played Ignister, which most people only play this, but I also really like the Raigeki card because sometimes you're just trying to play through a board and this is not enough and this is just game. So I played this and maybe I'm just retarded, but I don't know, the card is very good, so there you go. One Vortex Dragon. Like I said earlier, 3 of these. Not only is it good just for the grind, but if you Pendulum your hand and you have like the FTK and you haven't normal summon, which obviously this sounds like ridiculous, but and you have Oath, I guess like Pen Call would have to be involved. You can like make the first 2, and if they ogre one of them, you could just like Oath, add the card, and the normal, and you'll have your other monster, and then just make the 3rd one, and they're just like, why do you play 3 of them? It's pretty good. I did that once this weekend, so it's pretty cool. And then
that thing.
Yeah.
8,500.
8,500.
Sorry, Lyrilless players, but
Sorry, your cards.
the side deck, I played 3 Lancia. I really like this card against Invokes and 60 card. Not as like I wouldn't like actively play this for 60, but it just happened to overlap. So like if there was like a really shitty card in my deck I needed to take out, I would have this. I also liked it because I thought more people would play that layer in front of deck. It was so hyped, so I was like, you know, maybe I'll just like have this and that's fine. But I guess they could just have Banishment and it doesn't matter. So, but I had a lot of good experience with this weekend, so pretty good. The only hand trap I sided, besides this, if you want to call it one, was Ghost Reaper, because I didn't want to play hand traps that interacted with Draco at all. I didn't want to be tempted to even put them in, even if I had like worse cards, because Amano just blanks them. So then you're playing with less cards, and in a Pendulum deck, all your cards should be functional. So I wanted to have a functional hand trap that only worked against Pendulum really, and was a blowout. So that's why I played those. I played 3 Cosmic because you can't really afford to twin unless you have Dark Worm, and that's too distinct for me. So Cosmic was fine. You really only want this to chain to anti-spell, so that works out just fine. Spaghetti. 3 evenly matched. I don't love this card, but it's pretty good against Draco, I guess. I was putting it in against the mirror for most of the tournament, and then I played against the deck that puts up 4 negates, and I played through the negates and I evenly matched him, but I didn't have any cards left, so in theory it's just like, it's pretty bad. And then I played 3-dimensional barrier.
Card's pretty good.
That card is.
Yeah.
So anyway, explain that.
So yeah, you got any thoughts on this format, my friend?
This format is terrible. It's absolutely atrocious. I think that if you actively tried to prepare for a tournament in this format, you would just like freak out, because you're like, wow, this Pendulum deck is so good, this FTK is ridiculous, we have to play hand traps for this. But then you're like, holy crap, this Draco deck just plays a mono, and the hand traps are terrible against that. So what are you supposed to do? So that left me to just play in the FTK, hoping I win a die roll, just cheese some wins. I guess it worked out, but hopefully we just get a ban list soon and things shape up. And new cards come out. I feel like we've been playing the same decks forever.
Yeah.
My friend
Brand is gonna change things. Yeah.
My friend came to my locals a few weeks ago, and he hasn't played in like a year. I was like, damn, y'all playing the same decks.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, same old, same old. So shout out you want to give, man.
Shout out to Voltage Games. Put a link in the description.
Got you. We got you.
Apparently, we just like don't have subscribers at all. It's actually pathetic. A lot of the videos just have like quadruple subscribers.
They find your video, bro.
Yeah, they find the video. Yeah.
Shout out to Jeff. Always really supportive. He also talked at this event. Shout out to Noah. Even if we don't like test a lot, but we'll just like talk about stuff and figure like it all out really quickly. Shout out to my friend Jordan for his first YCS top. Shout out to everyone I came with. I think that's it. I can't really think. Oh, this.
Win 'em.
Trash! And yeah, that's
Awesome.
Awesome.
Congrats on the top.
Thank you for the deck profile.